since a lot of the audience or like the people who'd be coming to see it, they don't have context of what happened from week one. So right now it's just introducing our problem space and then our research, how we understood that, and then just introducing Costco Pharmacy, and then our content strategy. We were thinking of putting the framework before our video, but is that more of like our decision where we want to put it, or?
Yeah, it's definitely a little bit up to you. So for me, the frameworks are usually part of what we call the why design, right? So why is this the right design? Why do we design it this way, whichever one that is? And so when you're saying, here's our client, here's our idea, you can at the end be like, and now here's how this affects our client. And you say, their brand was like this, and this intervention is meant to change their change the brand experience in this way. Let's say, as an example, if you're using like the brand pillars framework. If on the other hand, you're trying to show sort of like a customer journey life cycle, you can sort of like bring that in the beginning and just basically say, here's the existing life cycle that people have with the brand. We want to enhance that. And then sort of like say, and in doing that, what we're going to do is we're going to intervene at this point in the life cycle with this new application, which is going to change it. And then you show us the application, you walk us through it, and then you bring back the life cycle and then show a version of it where that's integrated and we have an understanding. Like, you can use it in a variety of different ways. In terms of the guest panel, they won't know what you went through in week one when you were exploring experience design, but with the exception of Will Odom, every single one of them has gone through something like this themselves. They've either had to use experience design in 438 before, or in the case of Jenny, helped me teach 438. So she'll have seen the experience design frameworks so often that she'll know if you screw them up faster than I will. So don't have to worry about them having no idea what they are, just that they won't have seen how you originally introduced them at the beginning.
Okay, so it's more so of how we use the framework in our research process?
Yeah, not so much in your research process as how you use the framework in your justification now. Right? Okay. You're telling us this is what we are intervening in, this is what we have made, this is why it's a good thing that we made, and then the framework is part of how you demonstrate.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah.
And then, we just wanted to quickly show you our kind of visual design now, because there were some comments about this outline. So any changes? So we had like a different design, which was totally like glass morphism and Apple. But then like I don't think this is kind of the direction that we liked anymore. It felt different. So we went back to what we used to have, but then just kept like just one stroke around everything. So I wasn't sure if it still looked like functional, or do you think that it looks more?
I think it looks fine. The glass morphic direction, the problem with it was less that it was glass morphic and more that it became dark and cold and angry. Whereas this, because it's got a lot more white, it's a lot friendlier. And if I'm like, if I'm taking medications, I don't want to be stressed out. So I think the lighter direction we had originally definitely works better in that regard. Some of the patterns from the glass morphism you can pull in just a little bit in terms of like, there's a little bit we can learn about using subtle transparencies and stuff like that. That's all I would pull from And so if that's what you've got there, then I think that can be fine. So I'd say it looks okay.
Okay, that sounds good. And then if there's time, we wanted to ask for your feedback on our video, but I wasn't sure if you needed to watch it first.
You can just play it. I don't need to watch it. It's just everyone else sent me a link. I wasn't sure if they wanted to have other people see the video.
Okay, I'll go and share my YouTube then. But it was mostly, I know like one big comment was our character. So okay.
Medication is part.
Okay, let me find that screen. Okay. So
Marian's everyday routine, but after missing a reminder during a busy moment, she can no longer remember what happened. She also has a new concern. Should she call the pharmacy or wait until her next appointment? Introducing Costco Health Pal, one place for everything between prescription pickups. In her medication page, she can confirm which treatment is involved. Her medication info, supply refill, and details are kept together instead of spread across bottles, notes, and appointment paperwork. Since she missed many doses, Marion starts to feel different. So she'll open her care passport. She records what happened, how strongly it affected her, and any details she wants to remember. The care passport will organize this info without diagnosing her or recommending a treatment change. Within her care passport, Marion has the option to contact her pharmacist while attaching one of her logged notes of her symptoms. From there, a pharmacist will review that and get back to her within a few business days where she can decide to book an appointment for further action. To stay organized, Marion can save the pharmacist's instructions, reminders, and sync them to her calendar so that she can have all her follow-ups, refills, and treatment reminders stay connected in one space. Next time, Marion knows exactly what is due. She can confirm it and continue with her day. Costco Health Pal turns everyday medication tracking into a clear connection with trusted pharmacist support, because care shouldn't end at pickup.
Okay, should end up at
Okay.
pickup.
There's aspects of it that's improved. There's a few things that still come across a little bit awkward. In the early portion of the video, there's a bit where like there's screens that go down. They feel like they're moving quite fast and piling up a little bit quickly. The other thing is right now it feels like it's sort of like the story is sort of in media res in the sense that like you're just dropping us right into something that's in the app, and this we don't necessarily get a sense of like what is the core idea. So here you've got this thing that says everything between pickups in one place. We don't really know what everything between pickups is in some ways, and so consider whether there's another piece of copywriting that makes a bit more sense for it, in the sense of like it could be I don't know exactly what it would be, but something that highlights that it's not just a pill tracker, it is your sort of personal sort of pharmacist in your pocket kind of thing. And it's your pill, it's tracking your medication, it's reminders, it's logging symptoms, it's getting advice, it's being warned of potential side effects, it's interventions, like the whole thing. And so, yes, that means everything between pickups, but you can be a little bit more specific for us with that. So what you can also do with that is in this sort of section, as you're sort of running through here, the fact that she sort of missed multiple doses kind of comes up a little bit quickly. And the idea that sort of like she's trying to log some of the symptoms that she's experiencing as a result of missing medication is a bit different from sort of like the other version, which is logging the effects of medication. And so you want to make sure that those scenarios, we understand where they begin and end, and like how each one relates to the overall problem. Similarly, you have a section in there where you sort of like she's taking a pill. It's reminded her she's taking the pill, so now she's not missing medication. But consider how things like then tracking symptoms would also be a part of this. So naturally, I wouldn't do it right after I've taken the med. It's like I take my blood pressure med. And it's like, cool. How do you feel? I'm like, I don't know yet. 2 hours later, it might send another notification that says, medication should have taken effect at this point. Please measure these changes, things like that. And so consider how that, impacts the overall feel of the workflow as you go through.
Okay.
Personally, your animated characters, I'm not super distracted by them. I still think they're a little bit weird, but it's not a problem. There's a consistent visual style there. If it works for your intentions, fine. The UI itself is generally fairly well integrated in us being able to see what's going on. Sometimes they move a little fast. They can be a little bit hard to read what we're seeing. And so the main thing I would look at is if I'm making any changes, is a little bit of pacing, a little bit of copywriting in terms of what you're saying, and how a little bit of a sort of like scenario and solution are being pitched to us, and how the value is being communicated. And then, yeah, don't worry so much about the art direction beyond this.
Okay, that sounds good. August, did you have any other questions that you wanted to ask?
Do you expect the video to be the certain length, like 2 minutes, 3 minutes?
There isn't, I'm not measuring. It's basically, does it feel like it has the information that you need? Does it feel like it drags? So that's a little bit up to you. Typically, pitch videos for the course run from between 1 minute 30 seconds to 4 minutes long, depending on how the team puts it together.
Okay, sounds good. Thank you, Paul.
Thank you.